Would you like to play a game like the original Empire Earth on modern systems across dozens of historical ages and with good looking graphics? If the answer is yes, then stay a while and learn about the Empire Eternal game project. Unlike the mods for Empire Earth called Reborn and Rise of Empire Earth, this is a standalone project, meaning that just a handful of people, and one of them the creator of the latter mod I mentioned, are trying to make a true Empire Earth successor from scratch. You can probably imagine the huge scope of such an undertaking, considering the original Empire Earth, which was released back in 2001, spanned 500 years of human history across 14 epochs from the prehistoric times to the futuristic nano era, and it had a full studio and publisher behind it. Today, in Empire Eternal, we can already see many such ages as the developers have been hard at work for years, and I will show you what they have created up to now, starting with the prehistoric age to the machines age. I also had a nice talk with the game designer on this project under the nickname Epo, and learned a lot about his journey with this project, how it is going, and where he sees it in the future. The developer's vision is to revive players' interest for a true RTS game experience, so this project must not be just another army building and attacking game, but an RTS that is immersive. It will have combat, yes, but also civil management, politics, and a developed economy system. Epo himself got into all this thanks to the Empire Earth Reborn mode and its creators, and he is to this day thankful to them for this. Epo is someone who enjoys playing Age of Empires and mythology, civilization, and Total War Rome, so you can expect Empire Eternal to have many of the same qualities and mechanics from these games. Focused, of course, on Empire Earth and what made it stand out and remain a favorite of many RTS fans. If you are wondering why this game project isn't based on the two actual sequels and the one spiritual sequel, Empire's Dawn of the Modern World, nor have I mentioned them up to now, it is because despite the involvement of some of the people who made Age of Empires and Rick Goodman who designed Empire Earth in the first place, those other games never captivated the player base or impressed reviewers like the original game did. So with Empire Earth 1, so to call it, as the standard for quality, Empire Eternal will take you from the beginning of human history to previously unthinkable times in the future, to use the game's own sales pitch. Right now, we can take a look at the buildings, units, and animations for the prehistoric, stone, copper, bronze, iron, late and high medieval, Renaissance, and machines age. As you can see, a lot of effort has been put in to make the game look, sound, and play like the game it was inspired by, from the way and type of resources collected, animals, buildings which support the economy, and trained soldiers, to walls, towers, gates, and units, including the naval, artillery, and even futuristic mechs. There will be additions, of course, like castles, blacksmiths, and mining camps, inspired by Age of Empires 2 for example, as well as roads and bridges. Other planned additions include seasons, different types of policies, complex technological trees, separate mechanics of naval, air, and space combat, and possibly even spherical global maps. I cannot wait to see what the aircraft carriers and their rings of fighter jets will be like and what sort of firepower will they project on the battlefield. I think most people will enjoy the Renaissance or high medieval times the most due to the sheer diversity of units and the mayhem of combat between gunpowder, melee, and missile units, along with huge wooden sailing ships. We certainly don't say they don't make them like they used to for no reason, even if we take a healthy dose of nostalgia into account. I feel like Age of Empires 4 is the only game to carry this kind of gameplay forward into the new decade, but if I'm wrong on that, do tell me in the comments. If you are wondering, this won't be just a single player game, but you will be able to play it with your friends in the multiplayer as well as random strangers in some sort of ranked play. While the full game will be available one day on Steam and similar digital distribution platforms, for now the idea is to release 4 playable ages at a time, in sort of an open-ended development, as this is a project Ipo, the game's designer, would like to keep updating indefinitely, if possible, and keep adding new cultures as playable factions. This means single-player campaigns will be based on the 4 ages which come out with each new update, and there being 5 updates in total, rounds it up to about 20 playable ages. Currently, the plan is for there to be 5 main cultures: West, Eastern, Middle East, African, and Latin, which I think is a good spread and leaves room for additional ones, like several Asian ones, indigenous ones, island cultures, and so on. You can share your own ideas for extra cultures which have been rarely used in similar games in the past down in the comments. I, for one, would love to see Samoans or the Inuit people, for example. To help him and his fellow developers keep up with the current level of progress, you can already donate on the project's Patreon page, which I have linked down below in the description, along with the Discord server's invitation where you can talk directly to the developers themselves. Currently, they are working on making the engine the game will be running on as stable as possible and filled with features they have envisioned for the finished product. The current estimate for the full game is 2 to 3 years of additional development, but I would personally say multiply every developer's modest projection by 2 just to be sure. There is a roadmap of how the process of evolutions, combats, and mechanics will be. On the mentioned Empire Eternal Discord server, you can add your own ideas and discuss the ones posted by other RTS enthusiasts like yourselves. I know there will certainly be many features which we as players have gotten used to in the past 2 decades that we will want this game to include. But I also know how much of a tall order that is for such a small development team. I hope some of you might have some expertise and know-how to join in on the creation of this game. Over the years, I have shown you many indie projects of upcoming and in development RTS games, and my huge lists cover about 70 or more such games in the making. There are many that falter and even stop production, while others restart and keep going, and I have found since making those previous lists more new ones I cannot wait to show off to you. This is why I love to give them my support and spread the word about such projects to my audience and beyond to the general gaming community. If you know of any similar projects like Empire Eternal that I have never covered on my channel, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching and happy gaming!